Hello, happy Monday. It's Rachel over at Joyful Derivatives. Coming on tonight to give you a fun little live tour of our dining room project. If you hadn't heard, we participated as guests this season in the One Room Challenge, which is an awesome event that happens twice a year. And Linda from Calling It Home teams up with House Beautiful as a media sponsor and a bunch of awesome product sponsors. And they have 20 featured designers that do their makeovers, and then there's like 100 and some guest participants that link up their rooms as well. And we were one of them this season. And we did over our dining room, which was the only room in our house that we hadn't done yet. It was a really exciting project. I felt like it was the first time that I took on a project with like really ambitious designs. I usually play it pretty safe. We do neutrals, we do kind of the typical farmhouse style, but then this time, obviously you can see behind me, we did black paint, we did a bold rug, and it was a really fun project. So I wanted to come on and just give you guys a real life little tour of what we did and how the room turned out, and maybe some up close of the little pieces, because even in my blog post and the tour, it's hard to show all the little details in just pictures, and I am a huge fan of like video tours, but I'm just not very video savvy yet, so I'm learning. But this would be an opportunity then for you to see it in a video format. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around, and if you haven't read the blog post and seen the regular pictures, there's a link in my profile. But again, if you're just joining us, I'm gonna give you a little live tour of our One Room Challenge dining room makeover. Now that it's finished and functioning and fabulous, I wanted to show it off to you guys because I just seriously love it. I love hosting things. I love having people over, and this is like the best, hi Jamie, the best space to give a makeover to, because I feel like I'm gonna use it all the time. And even now, I seriously just wanna spend all my time in that room. I'm like, oh, I need to blog. I think I'll just sit at the dining room table, even though I have a desk in the other room, because I just wanna look at all this pretty space. So I know it sounds silly, but we get to have our first big group over this Friday, our life group that comes every other week. So it'll be my first chance to see how it works with a bigger group, because we used to have a little bit bigger table and we didn't have a rug in here, so it was a little more functional, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna make it work. And I don't care if we have babies and kiddos eating over a rug. Like, I bought a rug with plenty of character because I figured if spaghetti spills on it, there's enough pattern and color there that you'll never know. So anyway, those are crazy little things I think of when I design spaces. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna start over here. I'm gonna turn this around with the pink door. Okay, so you have to, for a little backstory, I designed this whole room pretty much around this rug. I fell in love with it when I was looking for rugs for the space. I knew I wanted something with blush tones to it, and so this was the one I went with. It's from Mohawk Home, and I couldn't be happier with it. I think one thing I love about it is even though it has like blues along with the pinks, there's enough of a charcoal gray in it that I could get away with doing like black stuff. So you can see kind of in the midst of the navy, there's like charcoal grays and blacks. And so even though from afar it looks very much blue, having it against the black walls does not look inappropriate or awkward. And sometimes it even makes the walls look a bit navy, which I kind of like. I love that the paints do different colors. So this side table we ended up putting in instead of a buffet or a sideboard, because I didn't have a whole lot of space here between the rug and the wall, and I didn't want it obviously to overlap. So we had this console table in storage, and we actually painted it the same color as our base cabinets in the kitchen. So it kind of brings that color into the room, and I like how it makes a little bit of a cohesion between the two spaces. The lamp was from Hobby Lobby, one of my favorite finds, as well as the eucalyptus. I have this friend that's amazing with florals. Like, I know what I want in florals, but I have a really hard time making it happen. And so I called her up and I was like, Gail, I need you to help me. I need you to shop with me because I know what I want, but I can't figure out how to do it. And so I showed her a few pictures, and she helped me with this bouquet on the table, picking which flowers to put in the little bud vase over here. She also helped me put together the eucalyptus because she's just amazing. So she's my go-to gal. And that's one tip I have for you. If you aren't good at one thing, make sure you have a friend that is, and then just call them up when you need help. My friend loves it when I call her because she doesn't do interior design on a normal basis, but then when you call her and say, I need your skill, they're like thrilled with it. So I would say definitely call your friends if you need help with something. The other thing I didn't want to do and recruited someone for was this fabulous sign right here. So I obviously wanted a really big, fun art of some sort in this space, but with such a long wall, I wasn't sure. I mean, it's hard to even get it all in one frame, but it goes from the front of the house all the way to the kitchen, and then the kitchen wraps around to the family room. I had a hard time deciding what to do with that wall. And even now, I question, like, did I put enough on there? But I think I really like how classy it looks with just the one large picture. So the funny story that goes along with that picture is that my husband and I decided what we wanted, and I knew I wasn't good at painting calligraphy. So hi Chris. I was in Starbucks one day, and one of the baristas was like drawing with calligraphy on one of their chalkboards. And she was just this young girl. She's probably 19 or 20, but I saw how good she was at it, and I was like, so how would you like to make a sign for me? And she was so excited about it. And so Chris and I built the actual frame and painted the back white, and then we took it to her at her apartment, and she hand painted the words on for us. So you can see, like, they're not perfect. They're obviously handwritten. And it was amazing. It was such a fun little project. And I love when I can allow someone to like tap into their creativity and feel like a part of the project. So that was a really fun story to go along with what we did in here. Let's see, the other things we did. This corner here used to be an open desk. In fact, I'll give you a sneak peek at the fact that it's just not even changed since we started. Ooh, there's the desk. We'll eventually put in some fabulous shelves and storage space, but for now, we just had to get the doors on it and get it functioning as closed storage. So these are actually just open glass panes, and Chris put like some adhesive frost paper on it to make it so that it's opaque and you can't see what's back there, but it still gives that illusion of glass. And I like it. I really was nervous that they were gonna look like some cheapo glass glass doors from in a shower or something, but I don't think they did. I think they actually ended up looking really good. And we bought solid doors to put over these towers because those glass doors used to be here, but the shelves are like 2 feet deep. And I found that when they had open like glass doors on them, it felt very dark in here because I had decor in those shelves, but they weren't lit. And so every time it was just really cave-like in there. And now with these solid doors, it just looks so bright and beautiful. And we bought these really fun, sorry, I should have showed you while I was over here, little knobs from Hobby Lobby. They're like an aged gold, and I love them. Those little things are perfect touches that I love to add to a room. We also got this marble table at Hobby Lobby. It's actually technically a plant stand, but I wanted something really small and kind of fancy, I guess, to put next to this window seat as a side table. The cool thing is, do you see that tiny little scratch right there? Yeah, because of that and me asking, I got this table for like $14. Okay, so this is a trick. If you ever go to Hobby Lobby and there's something damaged, ask them for a discount. They'll give you like 67% off. It's something insane. The little vase came from a local store downtown Corvallis, really fun, called Restyle. I splurged on this West Elm pillow cover. Okay, so most of you have heard that the pillow inserts, which are amazing, came from my sponsor, Pillow Cubes, but I did splurge on the pillow covers. I bought that one from West Elm, which is more than I've ever spent on a pillow cover, but it was totally worth it. And then this one here, which is kind of a navy and taupe chevron pattern. The fabric feels amazing on Etsy, which was a little more spinning than I'm used to, but there was a part of me that was like, okay, I'm going big on this project. It's worth it to spend a little extra and have something nice and high quality. So I did it, and I'm so happy I did. Let's see over here. We got the clock at Lowe's. Very simplistic, but I love the color, the gold color coming in. The trees from World Market. The basket I thrifted from Goodwill. Can you believe it? $6 for that thing. I love finds like that. I do like that we continued the shiplap on this wall. We had considered not doing shiplap there and just doing it black like this entry wall, but I think from the kitchen, when you see both sides of the window seat shiplapped, it really makes a difference. And then the star of the show next to the rug is this pink door. It's so funny. All of the comments I've been getting on social media about the dining room are about the door. People just love it, and I'm actually really glad we did it. I originally did this same color in a full saturation, and it was a little too Pepto-Bismol-y for me. So then we went back and we got it in a 30% concentration. If you've never done that, it's a really good tip. You can tell them what percentage of normal you want, and they'll just cut back the color that they put in the paint, so it tames it down a bit. And that's how we got to this one. And it actually matches the rug really well, but it's got kind of that gray dusty undertone, which is what I was hoping for. And the black entry wall, my favorite artwork. So these are fun images or pictures that my husband drew when he was 10. And they actually still have tags on the back from the contest, like the drawing contest that he was in when he drew them. Is that not so fun? I was really excited. This vase came from that same local shop in town. Fabulous stuff. Corbels were from Decor Steals, and we just put up a stained shelf on top of them for the entryway. I wanted somewhere to set stuff when you walked in the door, so obviously a little tray for keys, and people put their bags and shoes typically underneath that shelf. It's a great little spot. And that's one thing, is we don't have much of an entryway in this room. I mean, this closet is got coat racks, but we built this coat rack from scratch, just scrap wood in the garage and some coat hooks from Home Depot screwed onto it, attached to studs. It works amazing, and it's right behind the door when people are coming in and out, so the jackets aren't kind of in the way. I love that. And then this spot I didn't really accentuate in the reveal because it's not technically part of the dining room, but you can see we have another sign that kind of goes with the one that we created over on the other side. And we're really big on hosting things, and so I love that these phrases are all about, like, come in and be blessed and stay a while and spend time with us, because that's totally our heart, is just to host and have people in our homes and love on them. So I really like how those two signs go together. And then this is the open hutch that we have kind of between our kitchen. So this is the hallway down here. This is the kitchen, obviously, and family room down this way. So this space in between, when we did our remodel, we had to put this little nook in to make room for the stud that holds the beam. So this has my little coffee station in it with the shiplap. And then we put in this open hutch for dishes, and I've got all my tablecloths in here, all my yarn actually for crafting in here. This has got a ton of random junk in it, I'm not gonna lie, covered by a blanket so it doesn't look like junk. That's one of my secrets. If you have a lot of junk, I have a post on the blog about how to hide your clutter in your house. And sometimes it really is just cover it up. Like, there are things that you need to have in your home that look like clutter, and it's fine to just hide them away. For example, movies. I can't stand having movies out on display in my house. It's just a weird thing that I have. So we just put them all away in baskets, and then no one even knows, but we still have movies. So this was one of my favorite things to put together. Obviously, I took everything down when I painted the back side of it, but I love the way that it brings that dark paint all the way around the room. So you've got it here, kind of all the way to the kitchen, and then you've got it here continuing into the bookcase or the hutch, and then over here in the entryway. It was a perfect way to kind of give that fourth wall of dark paint, and I think it really makes my white dishes stand out. In fact, I was looking at some of my prior pictures of the hutch before the project, and you can't even see the awesome plates on the plate rack and stuff, but now they just pop so well, and it's really fun. So yeah, that was a really neat addition. This is my bread box charging station. Have y'all seen this before? Hidden in this thing is crazy mess of cords. That's where we charge all of our stuff. Isn't that cool? I made that. I got the breadboard or the bread box at Goodwill, and I painted it, put bread on it, and drilled a hole in the side, and voila. If you don't have one, you need one. And there's a tutorial on my blog that'll walk you through exactly how to make them. The plate rack is from Decor Steals. Most of my plates, white plates, are from Bed Bath & Beyond. The pink ones I got at IKEA recently, along with these kind of blush colored glasses. I don't know why, but I'm like addicted to pink right now, which is so weird because I've never been girly. I've never had pink in any of my decor, but I guess we go through seasons, right? And now is my season for pink, hence the pink door. So, anyone have any questions or want any details about the project? We've got a lot of details on the blog, 5-6 weeks posts, as well as our reveal with all the pictures and all the sources. So if you're curious where we got anything, if it's something that I know I can get you online, I've put a link to it. If it's something that I've obviously made or thrifted or gotten on clearance and know it's not available or locally, there isn't a link for it. But if you have any questions about sources, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I think that's the end of my tour. Oh my goodness, it's been such a fun project. I really hope you guys enjoyed following along, seeing all the amazing things that my husband can do. He is seriously the best. I couldn't do it without him. In fact, I recently updated my About Me page on the blog to reflect the fact that we are for sure a team. I couldn't do any of the fun DIY stuff that I and his help. So, props to Christopher. He's amazing. And, the only thing I didn't mention, which is one of my favorite parts, are these curtains. So I wanted to put curtains in the windows, and we actually just bought those really cheap little white curtain rods that like hook onto the wall themselves. And Chris cut them down to 6 inches. I don't know if you can see the curtain rod. You can't. And then I hemmed them up to the height of the windowsill, and they just add this amazing softness to the corner that like makes me want to sit down and be enveloped. I seriously love them. And I think these are from Lowe's. But anyway, okay. That was so fun. I love having you in my home. Can you just all come over and have dinner in my new dining room? I just would love that. I seriously, that's one thing that's hard for me about being a social media person is I'm like, well, I want to know all these people. I want to invite them over. I want to have a meal with them. Like, it's so weird for me, but anyway, excuse me. I hope this was fun for you. If you could, go to the blog. There's a link in my profile. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I love having feedback and interaction from my readers. So I hope you had fun tonight, and I will see you soon. Talk to you later.